Hi and welcome back. I figured tonight I will make a quick video talking about the war on drugs. Yeah, I know. It's such a cliche thing to talk about these days, but I figured I'd throw in my 2 cents because my views are a little bit more extreme than the views a lot of people want to share. Even people who agree with me don't want to publicly share it because they're afraid they're going to somehow get persecuted or get investigated for drugs or have problems for them and their families. But I mean, honestly, it needs to be done. Everything our country does about drugs is wrong, and it's just ridiculous. So first, let's talk about some numbers. Really quick Google search will show you these statistics. Uh, every year, the U.S. spends about $55 billion on drug enforcement. That's 55 billion with a B. Um, Now, I don't know about you, but that's a lot of goddamn money for something that's completely ineffective. Now, interestingly enough, people say that the war on drugs is to save lives. Well, if the war on drugs is to save lives, then the war on drugs would also be applying to alcohol because drugs kill less people than alcohol every year. Like I think 2017, it was something like 70 something thousand people died from drugs and 88,000 people died from alcohol. Alcohol's completely legal for people over 21, yet drugs are the ones that get $55 billion a year spent fighting them. Um, and no, I'm not saying alcohol should be illegal. I'm saying that it's fucking ridiculous that drugs are treated the way they are. Now, to me, the simplest approach would be if it grows naturally, it should be legal and taxed. That's revenue coming in. That's for pot, opium, mushrooms, peyote, whatever grows should legally be allowed to be grown, harvested like it were a cash crop, and sold and taxed. And that's not going to encourage drug use. That's simply going to make it become revenue instead of a cost. Now, that would be an amazing source of tax revenue. So I don't even know, I can't begin to guess how much money that would bring in. So we're not going to go into what that money could be spent on quite yet. But let's look at other things we can do with that $55 billion we're already spending per year. If we were then able to end drug enforcement, everything that grows becomes legal and everything else becomes decriminalized. That's $55 billion a year we're saving that we can spend towards other important things like, effective drug treatment. We can run national programs to make like a Narcan fashion jewelry or something so that, somebody going to a party has like a necklace on that's got like a little Narcan spray in there. So somebody overdoses. Oh, here's some help, save a life, you know. I mean, there's so many things we can do. Like, education is so much more important than trying to enforce it. And just like with sex ed, abstinence isn't going to happen. People are going to do drugs. They're so hardwired into our brains from early man that there are neural pathways specifically for drugs, specifically for the chemicals that come from the drugs. I mean, it's just, that the human species likes to party. I probably shouldn't put it that way, but I mean, frankly, that's really all the war on drugs is a war against having a non-Christian good time. But we'll not even go into that part right now. We'll just go into the simple numbers of it. That $55 billion a year saved, that could go towards drug treatment programs to cause less drug addiction. That could go towards, I mean, there's 550,000 homeless people in this country. That's enough for $100,000 for each of them. I mean, talk about what's going to save more lives. Is it going to be rounding people up, and drug testing wantonly, or is it going to be, getting people off the streets? Maybe if people were less depressed, they'd be less likely to want to do drugs. Um, And then there's other things that will change due to the legalization slash decriminalization of the drugs too. Somebody is more likely to try to get help if they don't have to be afraid of losing their kids. Somebody's more likely to try to get help if they don't have to be afraid of going to jail or violating probation or, any number of those reasons why somebody doesn't go and seek treatment when they should, or get help for somebody that they're with when they should. That's what's going to save lives. Having somebody scared to, get help when it's needed, that's just going to cause more deaths. My sister died with literally Narcan like 20 feet away outside the room, and the person that she was with was too scared to open the door and say, I need help. So she straight up just died. And there's nothing that can change that, but there is things that can be done to move forward so that that doesn't keep happening needlessly to other people, because so many fucking people are dying, and it's just, for what? So that for-profit prisons can make more money, so that people can feel self-righteous and justified that they don't do drugs, so everybody else doing them must be something wrong with them. It's disgusting. And then I don't know. I'll probably make another video about this later on. I'm starting to get all fucking emotional and weird. I'll uh be prepared for more posts about legalizing drugs, because this is seriously something that, I feel very strongly about. And like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.